Oh, so you're an apostle? No, you're actually full of crap. So why don't you come over to my house and fertilize my lawn with all the dung that's spewing out of your mouth right now, going around talking to you're an apostle? What a bunch of garbage. Okay, and people who fall for this, I'm warning you, and I'm telling you, the last apostle was Paul. Okay, and the apostles, they were all given certain gifts that we can't do now. For example, we cannot raise people from the dead, okay? All the apostles were able to raise people from the dead. They were all able to speak in coherent tongues, like real languages. That's what tongues are in the Bible, the real languages, okay? And they could all speak in multiple languages that they never studied before in their life. That's a miracle, okay? And I know there's a lot of polyglots out there. Well, relative to the population and stuff, there are polyglots out there that know multiple languages. But if you talk to any of them, they've studied these languages for you know many hours, sometimes years. You know what I mean? Like they have to actually study them. But in the book of Acts, the apostles were able to speak languages they've never studied before ever and communicate to people from out of town, okay? And the whole purpose of that was to preach them Jesus Christ and him crucified, okay? And these modern day Pentecostals and apostolic fakers, okay, they don't even know what the gospel is. And their whole tongues thing is a complete sham, and it's not of God, okay? And these guys going around saying that they're apostles, okay? Why don't they raise somebody from the dead? Why don't they go to every cancer ward in America and heal people from cancer? Why don't they, give every blind man sight, like legitimately give every lame person the ability to walk, and not this, Todd White garbage. The dude's a total fraud. Why don't they do these actual things? And for example, Paul, towards the end of the book of Acts, he gets bit by I think it was called an adder, which is it's like a snake, a very, it was a poisonous snake, and people thought that this dude was gonna die because that snake was so poisonous that bit him, and literally nothing happened to him. Okay, nothing, and you have some of these whacked out Pentecostals out in in Appalachia and stuff. They think they can get closer to God by drinking whiskey and playing with snakes. What foolishness, okay? And some of them even, get bit by the snakes, and some of them die, and some of them don't die, but they get really, really sick and have to go to the hospital and stuff. And people still attend those churches. It's crazy because, if you're an apostle, you can get bit by a poisonous snake and literally nothing happened to you, okay? You would be able to drink poison, do all this stuff, and nothing would happen to you. Nothing. You won't even feel bad, okay? So these modern day apostles are all false. The last apostle was Paul, and there were even false apostles in the book of Revelation. I guess in Ephesus, because in Revelation chapter 2, Jesus said he spoke unto the church of Ephesus, and it says in Revelation 2:2, I know thy works, and thy labor, and thy patience, how thou canst not bear them which are evil, and thou hast tried them which say there are apostles, and are not, and hast found them liars, okay? And there's nothing new under the sun. There's a bunch of fakers out there going around pretending to be apostles, pretending they can do all these healing works. They're a bunch of liars. They cannot raise people from the dead. They cannot speak in coherent languages that they've never studied before in their life to give people the gospel. They cannot heal lame people and blind people, okay? They cannot do any of these things. They cannot get bit by snakes and nothing happened to them. They're a bunch of liars, and stay away from them. Mark every single person going around saying they're an apostle. They're heretics, they're liars, and they're not even saved because they're always going around preaching work salvation and weird stuff like baptismal regeneration and talking about if you don't bark like a dog, you're not really saved. Bunch of liars. Mark them and avoid them. Take care.